Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto, and we're looking at a Volkswagen Polo, this one a Cross Polo, which I'll get into in a second. This one's from 2015 with 60,000 kilometers, comes with a turbocharged 1.2 liter engine that puts out 105 horsepower, mixed with the DSG transmission, so you can pick manual or automatic mode for that. And we'll just have a look at the vehicle, compare it to the auction inspection sheet. We're going to be sending this one over to Ireland. Now the Cross Polo is really interesting. It's my first time ever seeing one of these. The Polo in itself is kind of a cool car. They're smaller than a Golf, pretty common around the world, but we never got any of the Polos in Canada where I come from. And so whenever I see a new car, and I love Volkswagens, it is always very interesting to me. Engine oil and coolant are both fine, but the coolant is above the max level, which is okay. The system will take care of itself, but it is a little bit weird. Just going to close the hood here, and that, how do we get this out? Come on. It's harder to do than it looks. Okay, the odd sound that the engine makes is just because it's a direct injected engine. That's, if you haven't heard that before, most modern cars now use that technology, and so they sound kind of like a sewing machine in that respect. Really good looking gauges here. You can see the 59, 622 kilometers. I'll just switch this off for now. And I'll come back to the interior in just a second. Firstly, we're going to translate the auction inspection sheet. This is the information given from the auction. We can see here a very nice clean diagram and not much written in the damages area. And so this one is a very good condition car. Grade 4.5B is about as good of condition as you can get for a vehicle of this age, which this is a 2015. So I'll go ahead and translate this for you. It'll just take a few minutes here. So it's a 2015 Volkswagen Polo, Cross Polo. Now the Cross Polo is different from the regular Polo in that they consider this one to be the crossover version of the Polo. Really, it's not lifted suspension at all, but it has different bumpers that are a little bit more crossover looking, front and rear. You also get over fenders, and you get black plastic cladding all around the vehicle. You also get silver roof racks and silver door mirrors. Both of those are standard on all of them. And then a different, sportier interior with seats with deeper bolstering, as well as the nice platinum gray. Here's a quick look at it. They say Cross Polo on them. Now, generally speaking, the rest of the vehicle is pretty similar. I think some minor other things like dashboard vents have chrome around them or something like that. Now, mechanically, this vehicle looks like it's perfect, no issues with it, and so it's nice to see really good condition vehicles like this one. Let's go ahead and translate what the seller said. The sales points here are, let's see if I can read this. Okay, it has adaptive cruise control, paddle shifting if you want to, front seat heater. Now, it's unclear if it's on both front seats because there's a single button for it. I think it might only be for the driver, but if that's the case, it's a little bit not fair. Toll collection box, reverse camera, spare key. And it says it comes with a dealer history paper from 2018 and service plus until 2022. I guess if you export it from Japan, you don't get that service plus anymore, but it's nice to know that the previous owner had that. Typically, someone who spends extra money on the service plus is probably going to have better maintenance on the car because it's all taken care of there. The report here for damages, it says interior slightly dirty, wheels scratched, and roof rails are cloudy. I'll just show you that because this is a very common thing. See that? So that happens on like Audis, BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagens, because technically they are the same as Audis, or at least made by the same company. And I have to say, I like the styling a lot. I like the Golf. Golf's always been a car I liked. I owned a Mark IV R32 and adored it. I want to have it still, but I don't. Polo being smaller than the Golf, or about the same size as a Mark IV maybe, because Golf has grown as the Polo has kind of fit its space. I really like that. And the interior is actually pretty good use of the space. Front seats are not bad, rear seats are not bad for being so small. I kind of wish that, actually, you know what, I was going to say I kind of wish they still made a Lupo, but they do make a Volkswagen Up, which kind of fills that space. The Lupo and Polo are quite similar in terms of styling for their fourth generation. This one here is the fifth generation, so there's currently one generation past this. I'm not sure how everyone feels about it, but I kind of feel like this 5th generation has a bit of a either more modern look or about the same modernity as the, if that's a word, as the Mark 6. Okay, headlights have a good look to them. Also has a line of LEDs in there, which is what all the modern cars have. There's a little bit of cloudiness in the lens. If you look at it from the top, you can see it more. Okay, the condition of the paint all around is good. There are really no scratches or dents. I will just mention one scratch I found right here. I say right after I said that there were no scratches and dents, but for the most part, I should say. And then the only other damage really is the black cladding has gotten this weird wave in it. That happens to all the plastic like this. I'm not sure why manufacturers continue to make cars with this. And if anyone knows of any product that you can use, because I've heard that there is one that you can use to just clear that all up, I'd like to know. The upper edges of it have gotten more discoloration, and it's in a number of places on the car. Basically, any part of the plastic that's facing upwards has discolored a little bit. Got a rear spoiler here, just a regular type of thing. Somebody's doing some burning, I can smell it. Okay, this is fun. You can open the back. I was like, where's the handle? The handle's in here. So cool. Okay, the trunk has, small-ish trunk. And has an extra storage compartment here with a nice little catch here that auto catches it. So you bring this up, and then it holds itself into place. And then it's an extra trunk area so that you can hide stuff better. Now it comes with the auto tonneau cover anyway, but this extra hidden floor can be useful for some people. Down in here is where the spare tire would normally go. This one doesn't have a spare tire. It has the inflator kit, like many modern cars do, and then it has a foam block in there. I guess you could retrofit it with a tire in there if you wanted to. All right. Tires are from 2019, and I quite like the look of the wheels of this. I think it's modern wheels can sometimes look a little bit goofy to me. I think that these suit the car pretty well, and the 17-inch wheels on such a small car is a nice look. Now originally, until I looked it up right before I started shooting this, I thought that the Cross Polo had raised suspension, but everything I read, it's just styling that makes it look like it's taller. Okay, I don't know an awful lot about the engine. 1.2 liter with the turbocharger is pretty cool. DSG transmission feels like a DSG, but will give you better fuel economy. You can see that there's some sagginess of this liner. It's also on the passenger side door. Speaking of sagginess or any other sorts of damage, there's a little bit in the driver's seat right here, and a tiny bit in the passenger seat in the same area. I quite like the seating pattern here, or the fabric pattern on the seats. Quite nice looking, and it says Cross Polo, has the airbags in it. Steering wheel is, a nice small but thick. Volkswagen does the thick steering wheels. Has a good feel to it. The paddles, really easy, and they go with the steering wheel, which is the proper way to have that. Couple of pedals down there. Look down here. There's pedals in this car. Wow, Derek. So amazing. Okay, so coming in here, you have a manual transmission looking shifter. Now you can do the DSG, or you can't move it unless the car's on, but you can do the shifting by putting this down and doing plus or minus, or you can do the paddle shift version. There's a bunch of buttons on the steering wheel. AC works, power steering is perfect, brakes feel fine, has single zone climate control. Has an auxiliary in down here, so you can plug something in. 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter, a mystery switch that I never figured out what it is, USB in, and a seat heater button. So as you can see, it just one button, and then you can set it to different temperatures. I suspect it's both seats in the front that will get that. Okay, this is all good looking. There's a small scratch there. And yeah, for someone like me who usually puts the seats in the full back position for 90% of the cars that I drive, this car is the same, but it doesn't feel any cramped inside and gives you plenty of knee room here beside the steering wheel if you're a large man or a large woman. Back seats. It's a subcompact, and so naturally you're not going to get a ton of space in here. If I sit in here, okay, so the headrest hits my back, but I guess you could put that up to make it a little bit more comfortable. The seat also dips down far in the back, which I guess feels comfortable, but it is different from a lot of cars. The fabric is, or the cushioning is quite firm, and a decent amount of space in here. You can put your feet all the way back. There's nothing preventing you from doing that. And your knees don't touch the seat when it's in the full back position. Gives you a little bit of movement room in here. What do we got here? Cup holder. It's kind of weird. Oh, and this is broken on it. This lid piece will come right off. Okay. Yeah, good looking. Quite like that. That's nice. And let's see how the seats fold. This says ISOFIX on it, in case you were wondering. It looks like it has two of them, so you can put car seats in. Now, typically with a Volkswagen, you can pull these up, and then this goes down on top of it, and I suspect that's how these are. But I don't know. Maybe not, actually. No, they're not hinged here. Okay, so it looks like they just flip forward. Okay, well that makes it a little bit less usable, but it's not bad. And certainly can fit a lot in here if you're only going to have two people driving it. Pretty easy to close that, but the seatbelt is in the way. There we go. Okay, a good little package. Teeny little car, good fuel economy, good looks. Probably good driving dynamics, even though I haven't driven one. Pretty much all the Volkswagens that I drive, I like very much. So there it is, the Cross Polo. Okay, so if you have any questions, please drop me a line. If you don't, thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.